Hello, darling viewers. It's Jen here at Chuck Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Batman Hush. This is a bound volume of issues 608 to 619 of the Batman comics. They originally ran from December of 2002 to November of 2003. The writing is by Jeff Loeb, and the art is by Jim Lee. So in these comics, Batman has a stalker named Hush, and he is trying to sabotage both Batman and Bruce Wayne throughout the entire series. So Hush is using other Batman villains, including Killer Croc, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Joker, Harley Quinn, the Riddler, Clayface, Scarecrow, and possibly others. A lot happened in these comics. But we also do get to meet several members of the Bat family. So we have Dick Grayson showing up as Nightwing, Tim Drake showing up as Robin, and Barbara Gordon as Oracle. We also see other famous Batman characters in ambiguous roles. So we have Harvey Dent, Huntress, Talia, and Ra's al Ghul showing up. Also, Superman and Lois Lane show up in these comics. So it's kind of this collage of just everybody in the Batman universe showing up in these comics. This is definitely a more detective story, as Bruce Wayne / Batman is trying to figure out what's happening, who's influencing all these people, how they're all interconnected. At the same time, an old friend of Bruce Wayne's called Dr. Tommy Elliot shows up. He helps Bruce out when he gets so injured that Alfred can't fix him, and then we see him a few other times throughout the story. So they were childhood friends and kind of lost touch after Bruce's parents died. Which is apparently why we haven't heard of him before. These comics also have a Batman-Catwoman romance going on in them, which I'm not gonna lie is one of the reasons why I picked it up. That and the fact that Harley Quinn's on the cover. Love Harley Quinn. Basically, there is a lot happening in these, and it's not like I couldn't follow them while reading it, but it's hard to talk about these comics without spoiling the plot. So these comics start off when a young boy is kidnapped and Batman goes to rescue him from Killer Croc. And when that happens, the ransom money is stolen by Catwoman before Batman can get it back, and he starts chasing Catwoman, but then he finds out that Poison Ivy is involved, and then eventually all these other characters become involved in this whole storyline. So it's not an easy one to explain. These comics also feature these flashback scenes to explain who Tommy Elliot is and explain some of the other things that have happened in Batman's past. I really like this art a lot better than the traditional comic art with the monochrome. So there's more of the art that's going on in here. I think these comics really look at who Batman is and who Bruce Wayne is and what toll is taking on Bruce to constantly be Batman, because he's not a superhero. He doesn't have superpowers like Clark Kent does. He has to do things the hard way, and he has to be smarter and quicker, and he has to constantly train, and he's constantly getting injured, and he's always getting bruised, both physically and emotionally. There are tons and tons of fights in these comics, which honestly not always my favorite part. And there's definitely a lot of chaos. The villains definitely get their chance to kind of step in and make a mess of everything. And this is not one where Bruce is constantly just beating one. Sometimes he does get injured and loses the fight, and it's kind of one really long battle for Bruce where he's just constantly getting beat up. I love Harley. Even in here, when she's still crazy and psychotic, she's still fun. So the art in here, I'm not such a fan of the normal art with the like overly muscular Batman and the villains with their all the like tight costuming and everything. Not a fan of this art. It's also darker, but I do like the flashback scenes. So on the whole, I was kind of about these comics. Like, I enjoyed reading them. I don't regret having read this comic, but at the same time, I'm not like super in love with the storyline. It's not my favorite version of Batman. It's a lot darker than I would normally like. Although I did enjoy seeing all of the cameos and everybody showing up and how they all intertwine in the storyline. So I gave it pretty much solidly a 3-star rating on this. One of my favorite parts is just going to Metropolis and seeing Lois Lane and Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. I love Superman. He's my favorite. So my favorite DC hero anyway. So there are definitely some really fun parts of this. Like, I really enjoyed the Catwoman Batman romance and trying to balance these two sides of him, like being Bruce Wayne and being Batman. And who do you trust and who do you let in? And sometimes it doesn't always go well, and sometimes there are consequences. So more psychological, I think, than other comics. To be fair, I haven't really read any of the earlier Batman comics, so not really. I mean, I can't really compare it to them, I guess. But okay, there's my review for Batman Hush. Check it out if you guys want to. I'm not sure that it's a must read. It's got some pretty awesome, like, it's definitely gained some critical acclaim, and a lot of people really love this one. And I think if you are a super diehard Batman fan, you should totally read this. And it does stand by itself, like the Justice Valley. You can pick it up and follow it and know who they are, and everything works. But if you're only casually reading comics, you don't necessarily have to read it either, I guess. Okay. So, peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.